It's that time of the week yet again when we share with you foreign coverage of events here on the Korean Peninsula. As always, Kim Sung-yeon is here in the studio with me. Welcome back, Sung-yeon.
Great to see you, Sunny. So today we have major international news outlets all talking about Wednesday's neck-and-neck presidential election, with ballots counted late into the night and the final call being made just around 4 a.m. on Thursday. So let's dive right in. Reuters said that South Korean opposition candidate Yoon Seok-youl was elected president, with ruling party candidate Lee Jae-myung conceding defeat as well as congratulating Yoon. It further highlighted that this was an unusually bitter election campaign, but that the policy stakes are particularly high for Korea, with a population of 52 million. It also noted that around 77% of Korea's eligible voters cast their ballots to select the leader of a nation that is rising in its global status, even with gender and generational divisions, on top of a confrontational North Korea. Reuters indicated that now Yoon must handle all challenges, such as Korea's worst wave of COVID-19 infections, skyrocketing housing prices, growing inequality, while dealing with the intense rivalry amongst China and the U.S. Moreover, it said that the new president must seek negotiations to address North Korea's nuclear ambitions as well.
And aside from Reuters, Sung-yeon, I understand another outlet touched upon our tight race.
Yes, the Associated Press was emphasizing that this race was indeed one of the closely fought presidential elections in Korea, as when nearly 99% of the ballots were counted, Yoon Seok-youl had 48.6% of the votes against rival Lee Jae-myung, who had 47.8%. So AP News mentioned that during the wee hours of Thursday morning, there was a big crowd of supporters near Yoon's Seoul home, as he was expected to make a formal victory speech. The report added that Yoon is to take office starting in May, becoming the leader of the world's 10th largest economy. In the meantime, it pointed out that the former governor of Gyeonggi-do Province, Lee Jae-myung, sincerely asked the president-elect, after conceding his defeat, to open a new era of unity and harmony. Regarding policy, AP pointed out that Yoon said he would deal with North Korea very sternly and try to boost trilateral security efforts with Washington and Tokyo. Yoon also mentioned that he would pursue an improved alliance with the U.S. while taking a more bold stance on China. When Yoon's critics have attacked him over a lack of experience in party politics and foreign policy, Yoon has replied that he would allow more experienced officials to tackle key state affairs that require expertise.
Sung-yeon, the New York Times, I understand, had a whole live update section dedicated to Korea's presidential election.
Right, Sunny, the New York Times kept updating all the key happenings unfolding during the race, finally noting that the opposition's Yoon won that very tight race against Lee for the presidency to bring back the conservatives back to power. So the Times further elaborated that Yoon won the neck-and-neck election, in the end reinstating conservatives to power after 5 years in the political wilderness. And it said this comes with calls for a tougher stance on North Korea and a stronger alliance with the U.S. And New York Times also explained that Yoon, an anti-corruption crusader who had helped imprison former President Park Geun-hye when convicted of corruption, was recruited by the party to drive a conservative revival. The Times stressed that Washington, along with South Korea's neighbors, all closely watched the election because Yoon's win could rattle incumbent President Moon Jae-in's progressive agenda, particularly his trademark policy of seeking peace with North Korea. All in all, the report noted that such a close race was a sign of the divisive and contentious race to choose the next leader. It added that polls in the weeks leading up to the election had also shown that voters were nearly evenly divided between the two frontrunners.
Finally, Sung-yeon, Bloomberg had an in-depth coverage on Yoon's background. Tell us about that.
That's right, Sunny. So Bloomberg went into quite detail about former top prosecutor Yoon Seok-youl, who will now be succeeding President Moon Jae-in, indeed, who happens to be Yoon's earlier boss, until they had a fallout over investigations into the president's close associates at the time. So Bloomberg explained that the background behind Yoon, saying the former prosecutor is a political newcomer, as well as foreign policy novice. Yoon was handpicked by Moon Jae-in in 2019 with a mandate to make good on the president's wishes to go after the most powerful and reform the prosecution. However, relations between Yoon and President Moon deteriorated after Yoon's investigations included members of the current administration, even leading to the resignations of two of Moon's justice ministers. Regarding future policy, an analyst was cited as saying that with Yoon being a conservative president, the country is now expected to be more clear toward the alliance with the United States. Another expert indicated that Korea is now likely to play a greater role in safeguarding international norms and universal values under Yoon. Hence, Yoon is expected to be a more active participant in sanctions against Russia and North Korea. Regarding the economy, Yoon has promised to narrow the income gap in Korea and introduce a 100-day emergency rescue plan for the COVID-hit nation, according to the report.
All right, Sung-yeon, thank you for that coverage.
The pleasure is mine.